All right, folks, Chris Waters here at PAX 2012, and I'm with Andy Schatz, the creator of Monaco, a game we're about to watch that involves lookouts, locksmith, moles, and hackers. Andy, what's the deal with Monaco?
So Monaco is a single player or cooperative heist game. So imagine it's like Ocean's 11 meets Gauntlet, right? It's all played from a top-down perspective. And basically you're trying to get into a place, steal something, and then get out without getting caught. It's also a class-based game, so each character has totally different abilities from one another.
All right, so we see the 4 different characters ringed by those health bars.
Exactly.
At the bottom, and they are all maneuvering together to try and infiltrate. But give us the visual style of this game is very distinct, so give folks the key to it on interpreting it.
So the areas that are very saturated, the areas that are in color, are the areas that your character can see. And they also are the areas that the guards can see you. And then the gray areas are like the blueprint. That's the areas you've explored, but you can't currently see. So it's all this real-time dynamic lighting system. And when you're playing multiple players on the same screen, you see all their vision. But if you're playing over the network or if you're playing single player, you just see your character's vision.
And so the key is color, but you still have that blueprint guide to sort of, so because you're the thieves, you've done your research, you know where you're infiltrating.
Case the joint, exactly. So they're trying to get upstairs eventually and find a trophy and then escape. And of course they're setting off every single alarm in the building.
They're not, maybe this crew isn't as polished as some, but give us an idea. Who's this purple fellow? Is getting harassed by the guards? What's his skill?
He's the mole, so the mole can actually dig through any wall in the game, which allows him to be totally creative with how you approach the heist. Whereas if you have the lookout can see the guards through the fog of war, or the locksmith can get through locked doors faster than everyone else. And they've got the hacker who can create viruses that will go around and shut off security.
And so really coordinating your efforts here, they all now have jumped up to the 2nd floor, and they're grabbing gold along the way, but there's a lot of sort of secondary targets of opportunity here that, ways to go about it a little more stealthily.
Exactly, so the green hacker just created a virus through one of the computers, and they're going out and they're turning off all of the lasers, the security lasers and alarms. And then most of the time people are running around picking up loot, and that loot is not only just score, every 10 coins you pick up give you another shot on your gear. So not only does each character have a unique passive ability, but you also have gear that you pick up at the beginning of the level, like a C4 or a shotgun or an EMP or a smoke bomb. And every 10 coins you pick up gives you another use of that, which really lets you get out of sticky situations.
Yeah, a few of those seemed a little bit more stealthy than the others. I mean, C4, that's going to draw some attention.
Yeah, it's going to draw some attention, but it's also, again, it's the only thing in the game that can absolutely obliterate a guard.
And it'll get you right through. And so we're stealing important documents here. What is the setting here is clearly some sort of...
This is the Lebanese embassy. The game is called Monaco, right? And it's actually set in, all of the levels are real places in Monaco itself. So a lot of the level designs are actually inspired by satellite views that we got from Google Earth.
No kidding.
Yeah, so there's actually only 3 embassies in Monaco, and one of them is the Lebanese embassy. So the characters are breaking into the Lebanese embassy to steal passports in order to escape the country.
This reads like a setup shot from some Bourne movie, right? You guys are there, you're doing your Google satellite views, mapping out the play.
It is. I'm actually kind of worried. Like, we have a nightclub level, and I'm a little worried about getting sued by the actual nightclub that we're basing it on.
People, you might be alarming them a little bit with your attention to detail here.
Yeah, exactly. The casino level is one of the later levels in the game, and it really is the footprint of the level is based upon the actual footprint of the famous. This is the same casino that is the first third of the movie GoldenEye. So it's really cool to have these like realistic settings to base all our levels on.
That's very cool. And I see you're here dressed in a sharp suit. You folks can't see this at home, but Andy here's looking like someone out of Ocean's 11, and very sort of fit the Monaco theme.
Yeah, I figured I needed to be able to shoot someone with a shotgun, or at least look like I could.
All right, so 4-player co-op we're seeing here. Is this going to be available online to folks? What's your sort of release schedule platform?
So it'll be out sometime later this year. It'll be PC, Mac, and at least 1 console, but we haven't announced our consoles. You can play up to 4 players on the same screen or single player. The single player is actually fantastic. And you can play on same screen or over the network.
Now, how does a single player work? Given that there's so many diverse classes here, how do you take advantage of all that in single player?
So single player, there's a slightly different mechanic in that in multiplayer, if someone dies, you have to res them before you can move from one floor to the other. In single player, you respawn as one of the other characters that you haven't used yet at the last staircase that you entered. So it's and then the other slightly different thing about it is that it's the same number of coins in the level, which means that in single player you actually get a lot more uses of your gear, whereas if you're playing up to 4 players, you have less uses of your gear per person.
Forces you to rely on each other a little bit more. You can't just smoke grenade your way through the level.
Exactly.
All right, well, Monaco, I'm glad you folks have gotten a good long look at this because it took me a minute to sort of decode all the visual stuff you guys have going on here, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing how the stark color stands out so well against the gray backgrounds, and has it been satisfying for you to show this off here at PAX?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's with the response has been fantastic. We've had people sitting there. We had people with 1-day passes that came here. They didn't know about the game beforehand and came here and spent the entire day at our booth just playing our game.
That must be quite a feeling.
Oh my God, yeah, I love it. It's a game you have to play in order to understand, but it's a game that you'll have fun no matter who you are playing it.
And are these guys pretty close to finding the trophy, you think?
Oh, they got the trophy. They went back upstairs. They need to go back down to the escape car right now.
Well, we're going to wish them the best of luck, and to you as well, Andy. Thanks so much for the look at Monaco.
Thank you.